Property Company Limited. I'd like to welcome you to the Zaria Express Bypass Mass Housing Scheme, which is one of our sites concerning the provision of mass housing in Kaduna State. Here we have 173 units of assorted types of mass housing for the teeming civil servants of Kaduna State. We're happy to inform you that all of them are at about 98% completion stages. We would have loved that you go in and see for yourselves what we have done on ground, but due to the tightness of your visit, I'm sure we will not be able to do that. But at the appropriate time, we'll package all that we need to package for the whole world to see. So on behalf of KSDPC, we'd like to welcome you here and thank you for affording us the opportunity to stop by and have an aerial view or a flying view of our site. Thank you so much. I'm the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Kaduna State Development and Company Limited.
That this is part of other projects.
Well, this is part of so many other projects that are ongoing. We have one in the Kaduna, the new city, Millennium City, popularly called the Millennium City. I'm sure you had the privilege of viewing it also yesterday when you went to visit the hospital. We have also one again in Kafanchan. We have another at the Zangon Shanu. On your way to ABU right now, you have a view of it from the road.
Any questions? Any question on this project? Any question, please?
Yes. About 38.
My name is Benny Adams. I report for the National Television Authority. My question is, how far would the allocation of these houses? Like these particular units and the ones in Kaduna, we had allocation, not allocated, no drainages, the place is not habitable for now. So let's know how far and when can it be habitable.
The allocations have since been concluded, and they were done, like His Excellency the Executive Governor said, on balloting system. So there were no specific hand-picked beneficiaries. And infrastructure is ongoing. If we had gone in now, you will see that infrastructure is fast progressing. Right now, as we speak, there are heavy-duty machineries, and we're on with the provision of infrastructure.
There are two observations I'd like to make. The first is with the practice of building houses before developing the infrastructure. I've often asked myself why it is not possible for us to have the infrastructure before we have the houses. The reason being that experience has shown us over time that once you...
We felt that in order to cushion the effects of the economy, the harsh economy that we have.
Environment, the tendency is that once they move in, oftentimes the developers, not the government this time, would neglect the issue of infrastructure. We see that in some of the housing estates that were developed, by some persons, particularly in the FCT and elsewhere in the country. So my suggestion therefore would be to say, whilst there is a housing scheme has as a component infrastructure. So we face the infrastructure and then build the houses. I believe that the houses are probably the easiest thing to build, and the infrastructure are probably the most difficult. The other point I was asking earlier about how many contractors you are using. I'm happy you said 38, but we saw when we visited Kogi State, the resettlement accommodation for victims of last year's flood. They used over 150 contractors, and within a short time they had delivered over 400 houses. So the more contractors you employ, the faster the pace of work would be. And that way, of course, you have to set the standards, there has to be greater monitoring, and you deliver on these houses much more expeditiously than if you were to use just a few contractors who would give one excuse or the other from time to time. Thank you.